You're watching the Wrestling Nerd Broadcast. Now here's your hosts, Tom, Nick, and Dave. It's you, it's me, it's N.R.D. It's you, it's me, it's N.R.D. Uh-huh. Let's start the show.
That is right, ladies and gentlemen. It is you, it is me, it is T, it is D, and welcome back to episode 201 of the Wrestling Nerd Broadcast. That is right, ladies and gentlemen. It may be a little weird not seeing me, your seven-time king of the nerds, without his crown. That is because DDJ fairly and squarely last Tuesday cashed in. We had a quiz and he won. Two things. That was a lot of fun, and I hope we can do more of those in the future, regardless of stakes. It was a lot of fun. Shout out to Nick for doing a really good job. He really surprised me. Second of all, I'd like to address a comment in our Patreon chat, patreon.com/WNRDB, in which DDJ said, I'm going to look really naked without my crown. Here's the thing, DDJ. That crown has no top underneath, so my head is exposed to the elements. As we know, here in New York and in Michigan, it gets really cold. Really
it's
does.
cold right now.
It's cold right now. I just let my dog out. It's really cold. The grass is starting to frost over. And one of my favorite holidays coming up. And that is Black Friday. But the day before that is Thanksgiving. But the day after Thanksgiving is Black Friday. And you know who has a sale? ProWrestlingTees.com. You know who has a Pro Wrestling Tees shop? The Wrestling Nerd Broadcast.
It's us. We do.
It's us. And guess what? I know a couple people forever immortalized in figure form. And you know what I got?
No.
I got a Wrestling Nerd Broadcast beanie.
Amazing.
That you can get on ProWrestlingTees.com/the Wrestling Nerd Broadcast. That's nerd spelled N.R.D.
Yeah, N.R.D. for Tom.
Exactly. Well, the T in the stands for Tom. The very first letter, Tom.
Yeah.
Tom, Harold, Entertainment, Wrestling, Nick, Ryan, Dave, Broadcast.
Yeah.
So, joke's on you, DDJ. Get yourself a hat.
Go take that, DDJ. No, that's cool.
Tom went to Monday Night Raw, and we're going to give... well, actually, Tom, we can talk about both nights of Raw. Because this airs after Raw, so it's not even a spoiler.
Yeah. Speaking of Raw, I do have a little bit of a special announcement. I don't know if they want to come on the screen or not. But I do have a guest here, and let me see if I can get the camera. Let's see, and it's Harper.
It's Harper!
Oh,
This is how we get the views, everybody. That's it. Harold's out. The H in the stands for Harper.
So I've got Harper for a couple weeks. For those of you who don't know, there's
Tom
been some
Harper enjoy Wrestling Nerd Broadcast.
I'm dog sitting my former dog, which is awesome. So I'm very excited. We've been snuggling like crazy. I was very sad to leave her Monday night to go to Monday Night Raw. And I was very sad to go to Monday Night Raw after I went to Monday Night Raw. I did not know they were filming 2 episodes. So nothing made sense to me. Like,
I do have one question. So were there any dark matches like prior?
There was one main event match, and it was Katana and that other girl and against Alba and Isla.
Okay.
It was a good match. Actually, that was a really fun match to watch.
Okay.
It reiterated to me that Katana Chance is very, very athletic, but very tiny.
Yeah.
So they filmed Monday Night Raw. Doors were at 6:30. I'm like, that's significantly early. And they started at like 7:15. So I was like halfway done with Raw by the time you guys were like getting going. There was like no talking segments.
So what's interesting is the way you described it in the Patreon chat. So you're like, oh, Bronson Reed kicking off Raw. I'm like, nah, Gunther's kicking off Raw. It was very funny. So I'm assuming they filmed it all in straight. I don't know if you had a chance to catch up on Raw, but I'm assuming they started the first episode at 7 o'clock, aired it at 8. So Raw was on an hour delay for whatever reason. But.
No, what I think happened was they started recording the second episode, went not live because everything, I was like, you guys were significantly behind me, but I think they started recording the second week, then did this week with like a delay, and then did next week's, and then at the end they did a. I need to watch Raw next week because they did a promo where like it happened, but it was all the women, and then but like the match that they were, I think, hyping up happened already.
Oh.
So we saw the match, and then we saw a bunch of other shit.
Yep.
And then we saw what I think was the promo for the match that we saw already.
No, because I think you so I'm pretty sure when you as like just trying to follow up on that, I think you were an hour behind because like I would see what you would text about like what's happening, and then it would happen an hour later or so.
Okay.
Like because you mentioned like, oh, it's Damage Control versus Shayna's group, and that happened at like 8:30 or something. But
Okay.
I'll say this: it's very confusing going to a multi-week show, and I feel bad for you. But here's the good thing you had, at least everything kind of was in order. When Margaret and I went to Impact's 1000th episode, they did 2 weeks, and nothing was in order. Like they started with the Ultimate X match, and I get that because like you gotta, you have this big setup. That was in like the middle of the first week. The main event of everything was the main event of the first show, but like it was what a cluster.
Yeah.
And the weirdest thing is, if you ever have somebody cutting a promo like last week, I'm like, last week? You mean tonight?
You mean 10
20 minutes
ago? Yeah, it was interesting. So like Van Andel Arena in Grand Rapids is cool because there's not a bad seat in the house.
Yep.
I want to preface this by saying complete and utter fuck you to StubHub because their fees are insane.
Oh, we gotta get sponsorship with TickPick.
Like I saw Ticketmaster's fees were pretty high. Ticketmaster's tickets weren't cheap.
Yeah.
But like their fees weren't like high. StubHub's tickets were cheap, but their fees were obscene. Yep. So I'm like, I don't know what's gonna make the most sense. So I spent a lot more money on tickets for my friend Nathan. The other people who were gonna come weren't able to make it. No, it's okay. My one friend, she got sick, so couldn't make it. The Van Andel Arena, there's great seats everywhere. So like I don't feel like we were section, the 100, so the lower bowl, kind of in the corner behind the commentators table. Okay. And it was fine. I had a great time. The wrestling was overall fine.
Okay.
It was the crowd. Let's start from this. We got there, and my friend Nathan has never watched wrestling or been to wrestling. So it was really awesome. Like, and I was excited for that. Didn't know there was like stories at all. Thought it was just wrestling, no storyline. Whatsoever.
He thought this was the NCAA championships. Gotcha.
Yeah, basically. So really, like, he was funny. We were having a good time. Lillian Garcia is back. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, she is.
She sang the national anthem.
Oh, she's great.
So I remember her being terrible. She was phenomenal.
She could sing.
I think I was thinking Mickey James.
I don't think I've ever heard Mickey James sing the national anthem.
No, I don't know. It's just in general. But regardless, Lillian Garcia did a phenomenal job singing the national anthem. And I'll tell you, not to be like not patriotic, that song's boring as hell and it's hard to sing. And I don't like it. I think we could do better.
It's Veterans Day and song's boring.
It was Veterans Day when it happened. And I thought this song's stupid. She sang it in a way that I feel like she really took a little bit of like creative freedom and it was really good. So I was very impressed. It was really cool. There was a lot of signs like, thank you vets. Like, and I appreciate that. Yep. Like, I really appreciated that the crowd was like behind the veterans there. And there were a couple older vets there that the camera panned to. And like people went nuts, and I'm like, that felt good. That was a feel good moment, right?
Yep.
What wasn't a feel good moment was 2 rows behind me was a family, an older gentleman, I can't say gentleman, an older man, and 3 to 5 young college age kids, boys.
Oh boy.
And they ruined the entire night for me. I think if you've watched this show, you very clearly know where I stand on a lot of things. Politically and not so much, and they were not on the same side as me, which is fine. I can have disagreements with people and be civil, and that's fine. But when there's women's matches going on, and there are a bunch of children in our section, and you're screaming, "Eat her out, 69, show us your tits."
Oh boy.
I'm over it. I'm over it. And when you're as wrestling fans, you need, like, I get it. The women are great to look at. I get it. I'm a man. I've got desires. I get it. Keep it here. It's okay. Keep it here. Just don't do that. It's so disrespectful, especially because, like, the women put on better matches than most of the men that night. And the women killed it. Between that and then anytime someone had an accent, they were making some very stereotypical, borderline racist remark.
Okay.
And it was funny, like Pete Dunne was on, and they're like, Conor McGregor did it first. I'm like, he's from England. And then like Sheamus came out, and like I did my usual, like, you know, Sheamus is super white and has red hair, and I'm like, oh, like you look like a
soul. No,
I said you look like a carton of skim milk. And then those boys just kept trying to steal my milk joke.
Not the milk joke.
And I'm like, come on. But the crowd is hard at these things.
Uh-huh.
And I think it's because it's so quiet in the arena.
Yeah.
Unless the whole crowd's going. It's like you just hear everything.
Yeah.
And it wasn't enjoyable, the stuff I was hearing, and it really put a bad taste in my mouth because we as wrestling fans, we can do better. One, here's the problem. Here's the generic wrestling fans at events. The ones who are smart to the business and know better. So they're going to always comment, oh, they did that. They messed that up. They botched that. And using insider terms, no one cares that you've taken a few wrestling classes. The person who thinks they're well too cool to be there. So they're going to make fun of it the whole time.
Yeah.
The person who thinks that the Attitude Era was the greatest thing that's ever happened, and they're just going to be vulgar for the sake of being vulgar.
Yep.
The families with their children.
Yep.
And then the others. And I think for me, it's just the groups that ruin it. Just, I don't know if I want to go to a WWE event again. Like, I didn't feel comfortable getting excited. I didn't feel comfortable cheering. I sat there from 7 o'clock until 10:30 when they wrapped up, like this. I barely did anything. And I'm loud and I'm annoying and I have fun. And I was so even keel. It sucked.
Yeah.
Like, it sucked. And if you're gonna go to a wrestling show, have fun. Just have fun. Don't ruin it for other people because you need to be so cool. Enjoy it. Enjoy watching theater. Because when I go to a play or a musical, I get into it. I enjoy watching theater. I saw the Michael Jackson on Broadway traveling show, and I sang along quietly because I wanted to be respectful, and I bopped along in my seat, and I had the time of my freaking life. I don't know why people can't enjoy things, and they've got to complain the whole time, and they've got to be assholes the whole time. I was so mad.
Yep. I'll say this. I get where you're coming from, and I totally agree that, like, know your surrounding. And a lot of, like, the thing is this, different areas. I've been lucky enough to see wrestling shows in multiple different venues. I have seen them at a local house show at the Mid Hudson Civic Center in Poughkeepsie, New York. That's like
I've been there.
1,000 people. I've
Yeah.
seen them at the Westchester County Center, which is a couple thousand. And I've been to Madison Square Garden and Barclays Center and MetLife Stadium for Raw, SmackDown, Survivor Series, SummerSlam, WrestleMania.
Mhm.
And the crowds differ depending on where you are usually. The bigger events tend to lean more towards a mature crowd, yet a good mix of children, whereas like the house shows tend to be the families. Like they got the family for like when I saw the last WWE show I went to was the Westchester County Center in 2023, where I got this autograph. And a lot of families there, like a lot of them. So I knew as a mature adult, like, okay,
Taylor, what you're gonna say.
mind your P's and Q's. Let's not cuss. Let's have a lot of fun. And let's, if anything, try to have a good time so that these kids are having as much fun as you are when they're your age.
Yep.
The whole, like, I get it. There are people in this world that are going to look at a group of beautiful, beautiful women in a wrestling ring and yell derogatory comments. It's just what is happening, right? And it does make me upset. But as a husband, as a brother, as an uncle, like, dude, watch your fucking mouth. Like,
There's
there's
a time
kids
and
there,
place.
there's women there. Like, let's be respectful, it's one thing if you yelled out like, "Oh my God, Charlotte Flair, you're beautiful. Will you marry me? I'd leave my wife for you." Something like that's fine. But you know what, dude? If you want to yell, "Get your tits out," dude, I'm sure there's some fucking club called Smiles or Toy Box with 3 X's on it with a neon sign that's blinking that you can go waste $30 at. Okay, like
And just read the room. Just read your surroundings.
read the room. And like, and I'll say this, and I know you hate to talk about sports here, but I've even noticed that same thing with sports. Like, depending on where you're sitting that day, could determine the atmosphere you're going to be in. Because I've gone to Yankee games where I sit in a section and, just everyone's kind of enjoying the game. And I'm the only one like, let's go, yeah. And I kind of, for lack of a better word, have to kind of be the group leader, like, come on, we can clap, come on, everybody. Whereas I went to the World Series a few weeks ago and everybody there was ready to fucking just yell their lungs out all night. So and unfortunately that's you roll the dice essentially. But
I think that I need to stop getting tickets where the rich people sit.
That's it, man. The hardcore people sit in cheap seats, man.
Yeah. Like I think I just need to go there. I have been to wrestling shows as well, all over. Like I was at SmackDown in Philly once, and I was 6 rows behind commentary on the floor, and I had the time of my life. The crowd was into it; they were excited. Everyone wanted to be there. I've been to other shows at the Van Andel Arena, in different sections, and it was amazing. I think it's just the last few wrestling shows I've gone to haven't been as enjoyable for me, and it's because of the crowd. I think I enjoy wrestling more watching it on TV with my friends.
Yeah. No, and trust me, there's a reason the last wrestling show I went to was June of 2023. It's because I got married and I needed to save my money. Like I'm not going to Full Gear in a week, 10 days from the day we're recording this. Full Gear's in Newark, New Jersey. I was in Newark on Sunday for the Devils game. It's very easy to get to. But like there's a couple reasons. I'm going to the Giants Buccaneers game the following day. So got to spend my money where I can. But also like I'm just not into that card. So I'm like, why would I go spend that money, on a show I'm not super hyped about? Although I feel, and that's not me knocking AEW. AEW, I feel like could advertise a turd in the Punch Bowl, and it's still going to be a great card in person, at least. There have been times where we watch shows at home, like this sucks. But my next WWE event will most likely be SummerSlam next August, because I want to see John Cena one more time, and I pray to God he
It's in
stays
Indy,
healthy.
right?
What's that?
It's in Indianapolis.
That's the Royal Rumble. Royal Rumble. SummerSlam is at MetLife Stadium in Jersey. For 2 days.
I thought they were doing like 4 events in Indianapolis.
No, they announced that that Indianapolis will host all 4 events. They'll host the Rumble, Mania, and SummerSlam. at some point. They haven't announced when those other ones will be. Yeah.
Okay.
But the Rumble will be
if you're coming to Indianapolis, it's 3.5 hours, 4 hours away. we're kicking it.
Well, because I remember I was talking to Jared because I remember Danielle, like a few months back, was like, I was like, would you ever go to Indianapolis? She's like, I mean, we could take a road trip. Like, we're not getting each other Christmas gifts this year because we just had a wedding. But like, we were like, oh, we could take a weekend there, take Friday off, go down. It's not that bad of a drive. Maybe, I mean, a little bit of a long drive, but it's, I mean, maybe get a flight, but it's for a long weekend and something. And I'll say this, folks, if you've ever seen one event live, the Rumble is the most exciting match to see live because it's especially if you're a sports fan, again, Tom, I apologize. There's something about that atmosphere. Whereas like WrestleMania, we all kind of had a strong inclination that Cody was going to beat Roman. At the Rumble, everything's on the table. Everything's up for grabs. It feels the most unpredictable match of the year. Both the men and the women. So it's a lot of fun. It's like, oh my God, who's coming out next? Oh, that person won. I can't believe it. So
I might try to get tickets to the Rumble this year.
It's very fun. And folks, get ready for it because guess what? If WrestleMania is 2 nights, SummerSlam is now 2 nights with 2-hour-long matches on the card, it's only a matter of time before the Royal Rumble is 2 nights. It's only a matter of time. Just saying. So
Yep.
And I wouldn't hate that, honestly. Get 2 Rumbles back to it. Like that's a show I feel could warrant 2 days.
I wouldn't hate it either because it gives a good highlight to both the men's and the women's Rumble.
Yes, exactly.
And it gives more of an opportunity for like undercard matches that tell a story that almost leads into the Rumble match.
Yep. I'll say this. I am very excited yet nervous to see what a 2-day of I've never seen 2 days of wrestling shows back to back. I've gone to Yankee games multiple days in a row. I've never been to 2 that's 2 full days of stuff. I don't think I would tailgate both days just because it's too much energy, too much work. Although Fort Lee Pizza Linwood Pizza in Fort Lee, New Jersey is my favorite pizza place in the world.
Okay.
I will probably stop there, get a pizza, and then go eat it in the parking lot. Like that'll be the extent of my tailgate. Yeah, it's not a bad plan. Try it, folks.
When I went to the first All In, the extent of my tailgate was sitting in my car for 4 hours.
What was that?
When I went to the first All In, I went alone.
Yeah,
knew no one there. And I didn't know what the parking situation was, so I got there as soon as the parking lot opened.
Okay.
I just sat in my car the entire day.
Oh.
And then
meanwhile, Jared's there. JP, I think, may have been there.
Yeah. If only I knew. And then like I did buy a little camping grill, so I made some food and all that crap. And then like I talked to a few people, but I'm like,
yeah,
okay. And then I found some guy on Twitter. Actually, I still talk to him every now and then. This guy, Brent Strasburg. He's in the Brawler group.
Okay.
He couldn't make it to the parking lot party.
Okay.
So he sent me his ticket, and I got him his shirt and his swag that he got.
Oh.
And so I got to like walk around the party for a little bit, and the lines for the meet and greet were insane. So I'm like, no. Also, I spent all of my money on tolls and gas getting here. I'm okay.
Speaking of meet and greets, I do just so I actually lied. My next wrestling show will most likely not be SummerSlam. A new independent wrestling group called Awesome Championship Wrestling is coming to the Mid-Hudson Civic Center, Poughkeepsie, January 4th. Hale Collins, Vic Delicious of the Now have put together ACW, and they're hosting a show. And I'm very excited for it. Dolph Ziggler versus oh my God, why am I blanking on his name? Tom something. He's the NWA champion right now. I'm blanking on his last name. But apparently it looks like they're going to face off based on the poster. It's going to be, I think they said, a 20-man battle royale to determine the first ever ECW champion. And I'm very excited for this. Tom, I'd like you to guess how much the meet and greet for Dolph Ziggler is. Excuse me, Nick Nemeth.
$150.
Lower.
$100.
Lower.
60.
Higher.
75?
It is 75. I'm never going to criticize anybody. I'm never going to knock anybody, I should say, because I do criticize plenty. I'll never knock anybody for trying to make $1 an honest way. John Moxley, Ric Flair, Cody Rhodes, Kenny Omega, they charged that much for like a meet and greet. I don't know if he's that level. Like I was expecting like 50.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I could be wrong, but that's just me. Because so far he's the biggest name on the card, but it just seems 75 is very high. But again, very excited for it. So
seems high, but I enjoy watching him. So
he's good.
If I had that for $75, which I don't, I would do it.
Seats aren't bad either. It's like $40 for the bleachers and then $60 to sit on the floor, I think.
Yeah, that's not bad. I'm realizing it's the independent wrestling shows that I have way more fun at.
Oh yeah, those are
like
wild, man.
Pure Pro Wrestling. I talk about them all the time. Pure Pro Wrestling in Michigan and out of Flint. They've got Rhinos on their coaching staff now.
Yeah.
So they've got a contract with Rhino. They've been doing a ton with Silas Young over the couple of years.
Yep.
And I think it's this weekend. They're doing a show. They've got a contract, but they've got Moose for a couple shows.
I was gonna say, I saw Moose.
Like that's really awesome. I don't know. I think right now, I think in general, I would rather go to a local wrestling event where I only know maybe one or two of the wrestlers there, and just can have fun, because the people that are at those shows, we all know we're not cool.
Yeah,
we all know that we're watching theater and we're in a VFW hall or wherever, and we're just there to have fun, and we're all in it together.
I have to take everyone back to the year 2005, 2006. I was a drummer in high school, and I would eat my lunch in the band room. Not because I didn't have friends, or because I was a nerd and would have been bullied in the lunchroom. I mean, that probably would have happened had I ate lunch there. But I would eat my lunch, and then I would practice my sticking and rudiments for drums. The problem is that a lot of theater and chorus kids had lunch the same time as me, and they chose to spend their time in the band room and be very loud and annoying. And they would only sing TLC's No Scrubs and Rent's Seasons of Love. And I swear to God, I would just be there trying to enjoy my food, practice my sticking, and I would just hear somebody would just casually go up to the piano, 525,600. I'd just be like, fuck you. You son of a, learn a new fucking song. And and yet here I am. Look at all my wrestling stuff in my office. I'm a big fucking theater kid, essentially.
That's all we are.
Oh. But
we're theater kids. It's happened.
Maybe I'll make a TikTok.
Yes,
theater kids. Of course, we actually really like professional wrestling.
I hate that you went viral on TikTok. I'll let the truth come out. I'm very jealous and I'm mad because I don't
think we've told this story on here yet officially.
You did nothing.
I did nothing. So, folks, for those of you who don't know, I'm on TikTok, DaveCTheVoice. I'm your favorite DJ. And I post a lot of random stuff on TikTok. Like
there's no continuity.
There's no continuity. The first TikTok I ever did was me DJing. But then there's like me pulling into an Arby's. Then there's me driving past Raymond James Stadium in Tampa. There's a photo montage of me and Margaret's Jericho cruise trip. There's me taking off from another airport to learn to fly.
There's nothing.
There's nothing.
It's just random bits of your life. It's a video diary. It's stupid.
And so I admit I even tried the whole Chapel Roan TikTok try. Like, I hope I played Hot to Go. And my wife goes, "You're the DJ. You can play whatever you want." And it cuts to me playing Hot to Go, and the kids going wild. I played a song by Travis Scott, Fiend. Now, for those of you who don't know,
that song sucks.
It's okay in a montage, because you know how I know it from a montage? It's in the WrestleMania montage video of them like promoted like Triple H, like, in case you've not been paying attention, you living under a rock, WWE's on fire. And it goes, fiend, fiend, fiend.
Yeah.
So the kids were begging for it all night. Like, I literally said to Danielle, like, as kids kept coming up and requesting it, but like every time they ask for it, I'm gonna wait another song. And so I just kept doing that. Hour and a half goes by. I play it, and it's viral. It's on our YouTube channel. I've posted as a short. It's one of, I think it's the most watched video on this channel ever. That TikTok blew up. Now, when I say blew up, I don't mean like, oh, I got some notifications here and there. No, no, no. I mean, I literally had to turn notifications off on my phone for TikTok because my phone turned into one of those buzzers they give you at Applebee's when you're like waiting for your table, and it just I was like, what the actual fuck?
Yeah.
That video currently has 24 million views on TikToks. I have gained 4,000 followers. You need 10,000 to monetize. It's got over 3 million likes, like 50,000 comments. It's insane. And I still get notifications about it. This was 3 weeks ago. This was during game 2 of the World Series that I posted this. The what date was that? I'm just trying to see. It was hold on.
It was a day that just
It
infuriated
was the
me.
26th. I posted it October 26th at 10 a.m. just randomly. I was like, oh, this was a really I think it's a good video. And here's the thing. I don't post videos to go viral or anything. Like, yes, obviously that's what the hope of this show is, that this show will go viral and we'll make money. But like, I post like DJ videos and whatnot on my different platforms, of social media, DJ DaveCTheVoice on Instagram and Facebook. But I post stuff there so that potential clients can see like, oh, this is kind of what his setup looks like. This is how he gets crowd reactions and stuff like that. And boom, 24 million followers on, or 24 million views on TikTok. It happens. And also, I didn't like literally, I knew the song was coming up and I knew they were going to be excited. So literally, I let the last song just fade out, let a moment breathe, silence, and then just press play. I didn't mix the song in. I didn't
You didn't have to.
edge. There was nothing. I just press play, record. It's wild.
So I have thoughts. I want to go viral. I spend time making TikToks and Instagram Reels and such, and that's annoying that you did. But also, here's why I'm not mad. You're a damn good DJ, and that's always great. But what I'm not mad was, overwhelmingly, in my jealous rages, I would go through and I'm like, I can't wait until someone just starts ripping Dave apart for this. So I'm going through the comments, and now I'm crying. Because it's people our age, like, oh man, that was when
Gangnam
Thong
Style,
song came
Mo
on.
Bamba,
Who
what does the
let the
fox?
dogs out? Man, kids being kids, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Like, man, remember what that felt like. And out of all of those comments, when I would just scroll, like kind of power scroll, and then just stop and read a few and power scroll and stuff, not one was like, this is fucking dumb.
Well, see, here's the thing. I saw those comments and I fucking went back.
Yeah. Those kids in that video were living life in the way that I was telling you earlier, that I think we need to live life when we go to wrestling shows. Enjoy. I think that feed song is stupid and there's nothing to it. But enjoy your moment.
Yep.
Something hype is happening. Enjoy your moment. That's it. That's, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's Tom and Harper laying on the couch. Here's a real moment. Enjoy your moment. So this week's letter of the week is moment. Enjoy it. Have fun. And everything will be okay. She's so freaking
Well, I don't think we can top that. So, ladies and gentlemen, enjoy the moment, seize it and hold it. Oh, damn, we should remember the rest of the lyrics of that.
I know it. You want me to do it?
Shit.
She had dumped like a truck.
That's not it. That's not
Size
it.
like what? Baby, move your butt.
Butt. Never sing it again. But yes,
Don't-
ladies and gentlemen, enjoy the moment.
What?
Follow
What?
us both
Baby,
on
what?
TikTok.
What?
Tom's
What?
got glasses. Dave See the Voice. Instagram. Tom's got glasses. This is what we missed, everyone. Now we're going viral. So yes, follow us all on the platforms of social media: Facebook, Twitter, X, Instagram, TikTok. We're there. My DJ page, his glasses page, the broadcast is there on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, patreon.com/WNRDB. So maybe next year, Money in the Bank, you can win the broadcast and you can cash in on me like DDJ did. Because guess what? I'm getting that crown back eventually.
No. I think I'm gonna go for the crown again. I was a great king. I did nothing.
I was a
And I
great king.
refused. I refused to defend the crown. I'm gonna be king again. DDJ.
Listen, I don't know if DDJ defends it between now and the Royal Rumble, but there's no way he's holding on to that crown in the Rumble. There's no way. It just doesn't
No, there's
happen.
no way. There's no way. But I'm gonna challenge him. When's the Royal Rumble?
February?
Here's the challenge. It's happening. Wrestle Kingdom.
Oh.
We've not done an international.
Oh shit!
challenge.
I'm gonna be at That's gonna be a long day of watching wrestling because January 4th. It's wet. It's a Saturday this year. Oh baby!
Thank God. Not
Saturday.
Wrestle Dream. I don't care. I don't want to do anything for Wrestle Dream because I'm not watching New Japan Pro Wrestling lately at all. I have no idea what's going on. No, we'll do both. We'll do both days. Two-day contest.
Oh baby!
I
Get
want
ready.
a shot at the crown for Wrestle Kingdom and Wrestle Dream.
We're gonna do the predictions live at 4 a.m. Miami time.
Yeah, and if DDJ can't be up, he doesn't keep his crown.
1, 2, 3.
Goodness.
It's 3 a.m. in Chicago.
I want a shot at the crown. I want a shot at the crown.
All right, we'll message DDJ and make this happen. So, ladies and gentlemen, also ProWrestlingTees.com/The Wrestling Nerd Broadcast. Black Friday's coming up. Do you collect Hasbro's? You're really gonna want to watch the broadcast next week.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, next week, baby.
Oh sick.
Next week, ladies and gentlemen, it's the Black Friday edition. You know why? Because we've got our good buddy Mabel Toys coming on the broadcast to talk Hasbro's, talk about dogs, talk about life, talk about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have a good time. We're going to talk Hasbro's, baby. And I'm excited to make a big boy purchase. I've got all these that are mint in card. I got a bunch of these that are mint in card. I think I want a Hasbro that's mint in card. Like, I think I need, yeah. But we can only do that with Black Friday prices. So you're going to want to check out the broadcast next week, ladies and gentlemen. Maple Toys coming on November 20th. Mark your calendars. It's going to be, oh no, I'm sorry. It'll be November 26th. I think will be when that episode airs. So yeah, you're going to want to check that out. So until next time, on behalf of myself, Dave See the Voice, the 7-time King of the Nerds and future King of the Nerds, and the Wrestle Dream King of the Nerds, Mr. Tom says hi, Sasso. Don't forget to tell your mother you love her every day because like Kevin Durant said, Mom, you're the real MVP. Good night, everyone. Buy the hat. And God bless America.
Sometimes I think about shaving my head and putting all of the hair, gluing it to my chest so I have really long chest hair. Fabio of cleavage.